Race fans, are you ready? It is time. Moxie Media Promotions coming to you live on Spreaker Radio from the
Well, it's been a while. We had to get back in the studio. I think that we're all going a little stir crazy. I know that, man, I know I am. This is absolutely insane what's happening, not just to our racing community, but to everybody around the world, Gary.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
it's affecting everybody. I mean, when you're talking countries being locked down.
The world being locked down. I mean, not going to sit here and talk about your week or my week. It's not important at this point. What is important is we're talking about what needs to be talked about, and that's, this whole dilemma that we're seeing around the planet. It's this coronavirus 19 it's driving people insane. I mean, people are going to, I think the depression rates are going to skyrocket when this whole thing is done.
They're already showing.
I know that for me, personally, lately has been, it's been tough, man. I've gone through some stuff the last couple of weeks. This right here certainly isn't helping. Every day here at Moxie, we get calls from teams, drivers, sponsors, fans from all over the state. The West Coast. We're getting calls up and down the West Coast from people asking, "Hey, what's going on? What's happened at this track? What's going on?" The answer I'm going to tell everybody at the same time is we don't know. We don't know what's going on, and we're in the same boat as you. Here's the thing: this isn't up to the racetracks. This isn't up to what the track owner or promoter or whatever you want to call those guys. It's not up to them when they open this year. If it was, we'd already been at the racetrack a couple times. The problem is it's up to the state, and they're not letting anybody do anything.
No.
I mean, Gary, you and I were out and about today to handle some business around town, and there were lines just to get into the grocery stores.
Yes.
No, I'm not talking about Costco.
No.
I'm talking about Winco.
Yeah.
There were lines out the door and around the building just to get in.
Social distancing. They had cones every 6 feet.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I am so sick of those two words, social distancing. I am sick of hearing it. It to me is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. I mean, I'm over this stuff.
I get the objective to everything, and
I understand
it, but it's tough.
Well, it's screwing things up for us, and we're not happy about it. I mean, for you, me, Moxie, the racers, the teams, track owners, sponsors, drivers, fans, it's it's frustrating. You get excited this time of year, race season's rolling around, and now we're going, when are we going to get to race? What's going on? Now every time we turn on the news, the date gets pushed out farther. It gets pushed out farther. Social distancing. Stay home. I am so sick of staying home. I've done enough of that lately. It's time I want to get back to regular life. I want to get back to doing what we do. I mean, here we've got cruise-ins we're affiliated with it. We can't even go to the cruise-ins, hang out with the fellas and check out the cars or go to the racetrack on Saturday nights. I mean, this coronavirus thing, and I get it. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing, but here's I'm going to tell you my point of view. And there's been a lot of people that disagree with me, and that's okay. I'm not going to dislike you because you have a different political point of view or thoughts on something that's different than mine. But here's the thing. How come this didn't happen with SARS? How come this didn't happen with swine flu? The H1N1. None of this stuff happened. None of it. And the world was just fine. So why all of a sudden, we've got this virus that's going around that's, there's like 6 or 7 different types of coronavirus. Maybe even more. I don't know. I have to ask Sandy. That's her world. There's one that everybody's freaking out about. You hear about everybody testing positive for coronavirus. That's no different than the flu. Now, if you get coronavirus 19, the CV19 deal, I get it. That's a whole different deal. That's fairly serious. And I feel bad for anybody that's got it or anybody that knows somebody that's lost somebody. There's been some people dying from it. But this isn't as bad as what H1N1 or swine was, or even SARS. It's mind-boggling how all of a sudden.
Statistically, yes. And that's where I'm kind of torn too, because, following the news on this, I'm looking at it and I'm going, the potential could be way worse. had they not taken some actions. But then again, it's, you keep coming back, and who do you listen to? Because the media, we already know, the media is bad.
Well, here's the thing, and you're absolutely right. The media has got this thing so hyped up, blown up proportions. This is exactly why I won't talk about something I don't know about on the air or report something I know that's not 100% true. Because there is so much BS out there from the media, whether it's local, national, or worldwide media. It's these guys have got people freaking out. They've got the people thinking that, the world's coming to an end, basically, and this isn't that bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad. But it's not what the media is hyping up to be. I mean, look at the lies the media have been telling people. The New York and Italy hospital room thing they got caught on. That was MSNBC. Look what they got caught on. They lied intentionally and they knew it. Okay? That's part of the problem. And you're right. When you talk about the media being the biggest problem, it's not this virus. The biggest part of the problem here is the media doing what they're doing. And the politicians. They're a joke. I mean, it's killing, and I'm not just talking about racing. I'm talking about people's lives, people that can't go to work, people that can't pay their bills and support their families and kids. This is, when you think about what they're doing here, this is scary. How many people are going to lose homes over this? How many people have already lost jobs?
Yep.
Over something that really, I mean... Here's the thing, and I'm going to say it, and like I said, people are going to disagree. That's fine. This isn't as bad as the media makes it, and you're right, as they make it out to be.
Well, when you start talking to people that they're in the healthcare world, and you start hearing what everybody's saying out there about their hospitals or their ERs or everything that's going on, and it's not what everybody says it is, and... Okay, great. Yeah, somebody's in the hospital. You can't even visit your family.
That's an absolute fact. I had a recent experience with that.
Yes. So you have a loved one that's ready to die. You can't even go see your loved one.
Right.
You can't say your final wishes before they...
And I just watched a story on the news about that happened yesterday in one of the Midwest states. But regardless, I'm going to tell you something now. If it's my dad or my mom or somebody I love in the hospital that is on the verge of death, and you're going to tell me I can't come in and see him, we got a bigger problem than CV-19, because I'm coming in there. If I leave in handcuffs, that's okay, but I'm going in. That person isn't going to pass alone. And Ryan Nelson might get pimp slapped for this is over. He just chimed in with, "I believe we can only trust CNN." 100,000 comedians at work right now, and Ryan wants to be one. Ryan Nelson.
But without humor, where would we be?
Well, I certainly would probably be dead, because you know how I am. Yeah. I am the most, I don't know, probably happy-go-lucky, look to the bright side person that I personally...
My glass is half full.
All the time. Mine's probably a little more than half full. But right now, it's just the depression rates and everything that's going on, it's terrible. It's terrible, and I want to... Children's News Network, Mike Patterson says... I don't know. I think the children report the news better than those guys. But, and this is Mike Patterson. He's in a holding pattern down. Mike no longer at Bakersfield. He's now at Santa Maria. He's in a holding pattern. The entire West Coast, the country, is on hold. Mm-hmm. I hope this doesn't last as long as they say it's going to. Because if it does, we're in trouble, folks. We're in trouble. I'm talking about, I'm being selfish when I say this. When I say we're, I'm talking about our racing communities. If this lasts like they say it's going to.
Well, and you think about the impact from all this everywhere. It doesn't matter what it is that you're doing, but everybody's affected. You talk about people that are going to be able to stay in their places, right? Rent-free for a period of time, but your landlord, they're going to be in the same boat. They're not going to be able to pay their mortgage. They're going to have to get assistance. It's all trickle-down effect.
And what happens when this is over and you owe that money?
Right.
That landlord's going to want all his money right now. You can't pay that. You haven't been working. You know what I mean? I mean, this whole thing is, and everybody knows what a joke unemployment is. I mean, yeah. This whole thing it's devastating to so many people. Some people are handling it well. Some people aren't. I'm at that point where I'm no longer handling this very well. I can't lie to you. I'm going nuts sitting here at the house. I mean, look what you and I did today just to have fun. What did we do? We changed the CV joints on the quad here at Marion Creek Speedway.
Yeah.
We changed the CV joints. We detailed the quad just to get out of the house and do something. And I mean, it's been a couple of weeks. I've even talked to you, with everything going on. I mean, you're working from home
and everything, and it's been busy, and so when you're out there polishing a farm quad, we actually pressure washed this whole thing. It looks like a brand new quad. It shouldn't look like that. It's a farm quad. It's supposed to have cow poop all over the fenders.
That quad has been heavily used, and it no longer looks like it did, 3 hours ago. But
no, I bet you
that's what I'm talking about. You want to get outside. You want to do something. I mean, I hadn't been able to work on the surface of Marion Creek Speedway, and we're canceled. Tomorrow's practice session has been canceled because the weather hasn't been very cooperative. I haven't been out there to work the surface, and I got some stuff I need to do. But it's going to be great. It's going to be great when we get out there and get it run on the surface. I mean, you and I were just out there a little while ago. The surface is phenomenal. Still a couple things to do, but I want to get people out here. Just to get people's spirits up. Being the fact that we're not what you call a public venue, I guess.
Yeah.
We can kind of get into that gray area.
Is it 25 people or 10 people?
I don't know if that relates to where we're at, though.
It's outdoors.
Right. See, when we're working on that and we're trying to put something together to get people out of their homes and get the families back at the racetrack, even with the carts, come out, hang out, have a good time. That we're trying, but it's going to take a little bit of cooperation on the weather and giving me a day or two to get out there and finish that surface, which is, like I said.
Are you thinking of renting carts this year?
That's part of the plan.
And if so,
Sandy's making.
Is it extra for race gas? Just so you can get that smell.
We're not even using race gas in those motors.
I know.
But that's the great part about it is it's affordable. We do have rentals. You can come out and rent a cart. You want to race, you can rent a cart to race. You can come out with your buddies and rent a bunch of carts and get out there and have a play day. Another good way to beat this CV deal, the coronavirus, if we can get out of the house and then get out here and start getting back to regular life. I know you're ready. You've been locked up in your house for the last couple of weeks working, and if anybody has ever seen Gary work, I have. I've actually spent the day with you, and no, thank you.
It's hard to keep me down, but the more and more I'm down, the more and more I'm down.
I know. Well, I'm same boat here, and
now we are. I know you hate the terminology, social distancing, but we are 6 feet apart.
Almost. But, I just want to get back to Southern Oregon Speedway. I want to get out there and get in the sunshine, and I want to feel the cars and smell them and hear them and see the fans, the people we get to see every Saturday night. Shake some hands and
chicken strips.
Oh, come on. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I'm ready for it. And I don't know. What's going to happen. None of us do. And I say that on behalf of track owners and promoters. Everybody's calling these guys, and they're probably sick of answering their phones and answering the same question like you and I are. Every day, there's multiple calls that come in, to Moxie or messages or, and it's always the same answer. Look, we don't know. It's not up to us. Had a conversation with Mike McCann, and he's... he's just waiting for the, the go-ahead from the state like everybody else. And what sucks about that is we don't have any control whatsoever.
No.
As owners and promoters, we have zero control of that whole situation. Roy Bain says, about time. I've been telling Roy for a month, we're going hot next week or 2 weeks. Here's the thing. We're on West Coast Wide Open. We're talking about coronavirus. I mean, you might as well turn your local news on because we're going to say the same stupid stuff they're saying, but we're not going to lie to you. Just sick of. I haven't watched the news in probably the last 6-7 days.
I tried turning it on this morning when I woke up.